Hey. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's another exciting episode. So today, if you're new to my channel, please by all means go ahead and introduce yourselves. I'd like to know you and meet you where in the world are you tuning in from. And if you're a returning subscriber, you guys are just amazing. Let me know if you are new to this channel. If it's live, if you're watching me live right now, please type live in the comments and please comment your location. Yes, where are you tuning in from? And if you're a returning subscriber, let me know. I mean, if you're watching the replay, please type replay in the comments and also let me know where you are watching from. So if you're new here and you're seeing this gorgeous hyper queen for the very first time, let me go ahead and introduce myself to you guys. My name is Mariam. I'm based here in California. I'm a wife, a mom, a student, an entrepreneur. I'm also a fashion designer and a content creator here on YouTube. I'm also a YouTube coach. By the way, I helped small to medium-sized businesses start a profitable YouTube channel and begin to monetize their channels from the very first day. So without further ado, let's get right into today's business. By the way, I'm also open to collaborations. Yes, for every business, for all business inquiries, please email ceo@chaseseverything.com. Yes, you can see my website displayed on the screen. So yes, hi Norma Oberos. Hey, hi, you are watching from, oh, it's morning in Philippines. What time is it in Philippines? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for joining. So today we're talking about, I'm sure you've seen the thumbnail already, right? These two shall pass. These two shall pass. I don't know if you're aware that it's actually a Persian, a popular saying in Persia, and it's basically saying that whatever it is you're going through is not permanent. Yes, whether good or bad, it's not permanent. So today we're going to deep dive into why these two shall pass. I mean, I don't know what you're going through or what you're experiencing right now, but I want to assure you, yes, if you're watching me right now, I want to assure, oh, it's 5 a.m. Wow, are you serious? Wow, woo. Wow, that's interesting. I believe it's Monday morning. Okay. Okay, you're in Asia, so I think it's kind of like you guys are far ahead of time, right? So right now it's 1:08 p.m. Sunday here in California. I'm in Pacific time zone. So guys, in case you're going through something or you feel that it's all over, it is not over. I can assure you. See, I've been in situations where when I share my story, sometimes it feels like I'm playing or I'm saying things from a book. No, these are real life experiences. There are times that you think or you feel, due to the pressure of what you're going through at the moment, you feel like it's permanent, like this will never end, that like this issue will never end, this problem will never end, it's gonna drown you, it's gonna take you away. No, I want to assure you today that this too shall pass. I want to assure you that it is only temporary. It is only temporary. I mean, sometimes, when you lose a job, you lose your job, or you go through something difficult, you're going through difficult times, it feels like this is the end. It's not the end. And here is the thing you need to always remind yourself. I've said it so many times on my channel that tired eyes don't see a bright future. So the fact that you're tired, you can't think straight, or that things appear dark, you can't think straight. That's why I don't do very technical, I don't do anything technical very late in the night, like when I'm meant to be taking a rest, because at that time I can't really be as, so that's why when things are not going your way, when things are really, down for you at the moment, just remind yourself subconsciously, just remind yourself that this too shall pass and it is only temporary. Yes, today I'm going to be deep diving into things that you should always note, things that you should always, remember, that should get you through those difficult times. And I'm going to share the story of Ben Carson, Dr. Ben Carson. We all know the neurosurgeon. I think it was the first guy that separated conjoined twins in the history of the world, in the history of science, right? And one thing that is spectacular about him, I also heard that today, is that Ben Carson was born into poverty in Detroit. They were living in abject poverty, and at a very young age, I think about age 3, his father walked away from them, and his mom had to raise him all by himself. So in the midst of the challenges, he even had to skip class, an entire year. And in the midst of those challenges, he was still able to become a neurosurgeon. I mean, yes, when things are difficult, sometimes a lot of people they have two options: to go the bad route and blame the government, or still steer the right course. So I want to assure you today, no matter what is it that you're going through, never ever take that bad route. Don't don't give in to vices and say, oh, you have it better than me, you have no idea what I'm going through, therefore I have to steal, I have to rob, I have to do this. You don't have to go that route. Always remind yourself that these too shall pass. I'm telling you, I mean, sometimes it's hard. It's actually hard for us to keep calm or stay positive, in the midst of those challenges. But I want to assure you today that, trust me, these too shall pass. When it's so bad, like, I had a very challenging week. Last week I had a pretty challenging week. In the beginning, it was like this. And I had to constantly remind myself that these too shall pass. And you know what? It ended up being like one of the most beautiful weeks this year. So you have to constantly have it at the back of your mind, so that keeps you going, really. And just so you know, having a belief system, believing in God or believing in a higher being, actually promotes a healthier life. Yes. Research has actually, studies have shown that people who believe in something, they live longer than people who don't. Yes, research has shown that. I read that, I think, when I was in the university, I was studying for my first degree. So you have to, yes. And also, when you believe in something, it also promotes better health. Because when you don't believe in something, when you're not positive about something, you're just you give up on yourself. You give up easily. It's easy for you to give up on yourself. But when you believe, when you trust that God is still on the throne, that God is, he will show up for you and he will show out for you. See, God, Jehovah overdo. You have to just keep trusting him, no matter what it is that you're facing, no matter how difficult. Yes, there are difficult situations that we find ourselves in, and we're like, can I really make it? Yes, you will. Yes, you can, and you will. So you have to constantly, there are things that actually keep you going. Like when you have it, it's like having a blueprint, having a reminder that your future is bright. Yes, your future is going to be bright. And sometimes we want to give into those things that are causing so much pain, so much stress on us. Always remember something. Even if okay, this is where I'm actually going. So instead of you being terrified of the situation or whatever is causing whatever situation that you're in, why don't you just fear the one who has control over your life and over your soul? Yes, better than being afraid of the one who only has control over your life. Yes. So why don't you just put all your hope and all of your trust in God, knowing fully well that he orchestrates everything that goes on, is in charge of everything. Yes, we had an election this week and it turned out that, Donald Trump won. Life goes on. Life goes on. Yes, even though it might not have turned out the way some of us wanted it to, but you know what? Life goes on. You have to dust it off, shake it off, and trust God in everything. Trust God regardless of whatever situation that you're in. And the beautiful thing about religion, like I said, is religion actually helps it helps us with better coping skills. Yes, it helps develop this coping mechanism. When you believe that, it's only temporary and these too shall pass, you're able to, fight through it. You're able to, go through whatever it is that you're going through. You're able to go through it like a boss that you are, like a pro that you are. So, yes, always tell yourself, always remind yourself, regardless of what you're seeing in front of you, sometimes what you're seeing in front of you just doesn't make any sense. You can't make any sense out of it. It feels like it's the end. It feels like there is no way out of this. But you know what? I want to assure you that these too shall pass. Yes, I want to assure you that it's only temporary. Sometimes our problems are, and I always say this, nothing is ever as bad as it first appears. When you first hear a bad news, I pray nobody hears bad news, right? When you first hear something negative, it feels bigger. than it is. And you just, that's why some people, go and off themselves, right? Because it's all magnified in the beginning. It feels so big, so great, that some people they just give up, so quick. But I want to assure you that this too shall pass. I don't care what it is that you're going through. There are situations, you have you heard of some situations that where I read a story recently where a guy, he was he went from being like, I don't know how to even quantify the depths, how terrible his living situation was. He was stealing in church, but now he's I think he's a special advisor to a governor, today. And the the part, it's already, it's history. It's all gone. Everything he went through in the past is all gone today. Imagine if, and he said it too in his posits. He said, if only he could play the tape of what is happening in his life today, at that time, maybe he would have had it easier. Sometimes you need to just well, all the time you need to just, be positive. Because if only you can play the tape of what God has in store for you in the future, then you're able to relax. And that's where I'm going. Just relax and tell yourself this too shall pass. Just relax and tell yourself that it is going to be okay. It is going to be all right. Sometimes it feels like, is this how it's going to continue? Is this the end? Is this all that there is to, life? But I want to assure you today, see, just trust God in every situation, and everything will make sense in the end. Everything will be okay in the end. Because I always say this, if it is not okay, it is not the end. If it is not okay yet, trust me, it is not the end. So you need to constantly, put yourself in circles, put yourself in, situations, in places where you understand that it is going to get better. First thing you need to do is to win in your mind first. You need to win in your mind first. Yes, that's the first thing. And that's how winners are born. I've come to realize that even billionaires, a lot of billionaires today, there are not too many of them. I don't think there are up to 1,000 billionaires in the world in dollars, right? Hey, Adebisi Martins, you are welcome. Thank you for joining in. Where are you watching from? Let me know in the comments. So there are billionaires who have also mentioned, who have, you know, they were true to themselves. They said they don't even know how they got to this place, to this point. It was like taking a bet on themselves. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm glad this is a blessing to you. So billionaires today, a lot of them just took a bet and it worked out. It's not like they're extra special, or they were, oh, awesome, thanks for joining in. It's not like they were extra special, or, they did something spectacular, or they were born as geniuses. They were, no. They just happened to be at the right place at the right time. They took the right bets. They took the right business decisions. And here they are today. So I want to assure you, I don't care what your situation is right now, these too shall pass. Whatever it is that you're going through, that it looks like it is the end. Hey, otiton, otn. No, koton. I'm telling you, koton. As long as God is on the throne, I don't know if you've heard this song, Ola Oton, Ola Kusein Jaburata. Like, He will come through for you. Whether you're having health challenges, or physical challenges, or financial challenges, or career challenges, or whatever, family challenges, or relationship challenges, see, it is not the end. I'm telling you, it is not the end. Amen. Amen. And ABC, I'm glad. You said you don't know how you got here, but you think the Lord just directed your fingers to press and get, oh, I'm glad, but I just want to assure you, I don't know what your situation is right now, but you know what? It is going to be well in the end. See, if it is not okay, it is not the end. Yes, if it is not okay right now, it is not the end. Just wait. Don't worry. It's coming. That's promise that God has for you will come to pass in your life. Just persevere. It's just for a short period of time. There are times when, it looks like our problems are drowning us, like we're problem yellow. No, we will not. We will not. We will survive that storm. You will survive that storm. If you're watching me right now, I don't care what it is that you're going through, you will survive the storm and you will share a big testimony and you'll be happy. You'll be glad that that you had to go through this phase of your life. You'll be happy because you are learning. It's a phase, for you to learn. It's a learning phase for you. And at the end of the day, you will give all the glory back to God because you know what? He will do it. He has promised us in his word that he will do it. He will do exactly what he has said that he will do. He will fulfill all his promises in our lives. You see, God is not a man that he should lie. So please get back to his word, get back to his promises, and remind yourself that see, God does this. And I was telling my friend yesterday morning, about this time yesterday morning, I was talking to my friend. I have this daily devotional that I use. One of my friends, my Bible study friends, bought it for me. And I told her, yes, I get lots of gifts every day, especially as an influencer. I get lots and lots of stuff. And she gave me this daily devotional. And every day I read it, just like what I'm saying today. I'm speaking from, experience. God comes through. Sometimes it feels like it's the end. It feels like you don't have any hope, like your hope is gone, like like there's nothing is coming from the east or from the west, there's no help coming. But you know what? God is never late. He's always on time. And I want to assure you, see, just hang on to God. If God is all you have, God is all that you need. If He's all you have, you are okay. God is all you need. You don't even need anyone around you. You don't need any help or anybody to, come. As long as you have God, He will send helpers. He will send strangers. I'm telling you, and I'm speaking. There are things that I experienced this week that is not normal, like in a good way. It's, I don't know, maybe it's like one in 1 million, really. The kind of favor I got this week it's like 1 in 1 million. It can only be God. So when you talk to God about your situation and believe that He has heard you, He will come through for you. And I've had situations where, yes, so I mean, I've had situations where I look up in the sky and I'm like, God, this is you. You're interesting. Because when those things happen, it's not man-made. It's from God. Like, this is not normal. See, if people don't do it, He will raise stones to do it. He will bring strangers your way. He will bring people in an unexpected manner. And personally, when I'm praying to God, when I'm talking to God, I always say that God is the architect of the universe. He orchestrates our journey, our walk in life. So you see, God is that grand master architect. That's the way I put it. That God is the grand master architect. So He's building your story. He's putting the bricks and the blocks. One day the building will erect. And you will look back and say, wow, is this me? Is this what God actually has in store for me? When you almost gave up on yourself at the time you were going through your challenges. So you see, God is never sleeping. You see, this God that we serve, He is not sleeping. He is always there. He's working even when we are sleeping. He is working on our behalf. There are a lot of unseen battles. My friend was telling me yesterday, there are a lot of unseen battles that we're not even seeing. And the fact that you are even breathing is a sign that it is not the end. You're breathing. You're above the ground. You're above the ground. You're not 6 feet down. You are winning. You are winning. So remind yourself every day. Tell that situation. Now, when you have a big problem, you tell that problem. Don't say, I have a big problem. Tell that problem, I have a big God. Face that situation and say, I have a big God. That gives you that assurance in God that He will do it. He will come through for you. He will fight for you. I don't know what it is that you're going through, but you know what? God does last minute miracles. He's still in the business of doing miracles, and He will do it for you. Whatever it is that you're trusting God for right now, God will do it for you. He will stand up for you. He will stay with you. He will be with you all the way till the very end. He will deliver on his promises for your life. He will deliver. I'm telling you. Yes, amen, Norma. Yes, amen. God will come through for you. I'm telling you. So whatever it is that you're going through right now, just tell for Bale. Go and relax in God that He will do it. Now, here is another thing. When people are celebrating around you, it might feel like you are left behind, you're left out, like you're the only one, you're the odd one out, you're the one that is not doing this. Guess what? When God is doing it for your friends, for people around you, God is in the neighborhood. He will get to you. It's like, a Santa that is giving, Christmas gifts. There was a time, I think it was 2011. My birthday in December. It was actually December 27th. But I went to Sheraton Hotel to give myself a treat, in Lagos at the time in Ikeja. So I went to Sheraton Hotel and I was there. I was just eating. I went there with my cash, breakfast, lunch, and dinner all on me. And that day I sat down. I was the only one. And then I saw Santa. There was a guy dressed in Christmas clothes. It was on the 27th. 27th is my birthday. And then he was giving away Milo at the time, like the big Milo. He was giving it away at the time, in the hotel, because I was at the lobby just chilling and drinking and eating and everything, spending my birthday all by myself. And he was distributing it. So you know what? He was going from chair to chair, from every person to the next person. It's like they have they have like an abundance, they have the stuffs in abundance and they were giving it away. So what I'm saying in essence is, don't worry, chill. Even when everybody is celebrating around you, they will get to your turn. It will get to your turn. God is passing. See, He is that source that never runs dry. He will get to your turn. And what He will do for you, Jehovah overdo. He will do more than what you expect him to do. He will do exceedingly and abundantly above what you have even asked of him, or what you can even think of. He will do exceedingly and abundantly above what you can ask of him. You can ask people who have been trusting God for certain things in their lives, and when God showed up for them, they were like people who dreamed. It was like a dream. And that's how God will show up for you today. If you're listening to this message, it's for you. Just trust God, regardless of the situation on ground. Sometimes it feels like it's the end. It feels like it's a hopeless situation. It feels like, have you heard my own story? Do you know how bad my story is? Don't worry. God is turning it around for your good. God is turning it around for your good. No, don't worry. See, at ABC, don't worry. God has got your back. God has got your back. Just keep trusting God. Don't give in to vices. When I started today's broadcast, today's live stream, I talked about Ben Carson, Dr. Ben Carson, the neurosurgeon who was the first man to separate conjoined twins, right? He lived in abject poverty. He had every reason for things not to go well for him in life. He could have been in jail. He could have just turned into this or turned into that. But you know what? He kept being positive. He kept being positive. And guess what? He became his name will never be erased in the history of man with what he did. He was the first person to separate conjoined twins. So, given his background, where he's coming from, would you say, or would he have thought that he will amount to this person in future? His mom actually, did a lot of work on him, gave him those, amazing work ethics, taught him how to do this, how to do that, how to, have that, amazing mindset from a tender age. So you know what? It is not the end. It is not the end. God has not said it is the end. See, as long as God has not said it's the end, it is not the end. And whose promises should you believe? Only God's promises. Only God's promises. Yes. And He has promised to give us the good of the land. So, regardless of whatever it is right now, I just want to assure you that this too shall pass. I want to assure you that these too shall pass. I don't care what the situation is. Yes, sometimes it feels like we can't even get through this. It feels like it's the end. Can it get worse than this? But I want to tell you, instead of saying those, asking those bitter questions, tell yourself it could be worse. Yes, it could be worse. It could be worse. In fact, there's a song. If you can listen to that song, I'm sure when you listen to that, you listen to the lyrics of that song and compare your situation with what this guy faced. I'm sure you say you are even having it better than him. You can listen to, oh, Sparkle. Yes, thank you. Sorry, I'm also on another platform and, somebody else is being blessed. Yes, we thank God for that. Maybe you should go listen to this song. It's called It Could Be Worse. Yes, by James Fortune. It could be worse. Let me let me um let me put it in the chat. It could be worse by James Fortune. Hmm. And as a matter of fact, I was going through hell when I stumbled on this song. How did I even stumble on this song? I was single and I usually go to read in, schools, university. So at the time, University of Lagos was close to me. I live in Nigeria at the time. University of Lagos was close to me. So I used to I go to read for ICANN, and then I'll go to Faculty of Architecture. I'll go to their master's class, classes for master students. I'll go there to read. So I go there to read. I wasn't, yes, it could be worse, James Fortune, yes. I go there to read, and architecture students. So when I say archi students, I mean architecture students. They read with music, So I go there to read, and because I go there every weekend. They know me. I'm not in their class, but of course they know me. I'm a familiar face, so they can even trust me and all that. So I was going through a hard time, and they listen to music a lot in that class. So that day I went to, because I got to know some of the students in the class and the class rep. So I went to the class rep and I told him, please, can I have some of this music? There's a way we, get music in Nigeria now. Just download it on your laptop. So I went to the guy and said, can you give me some of these songs that you guys like? I hear it. I don't hear the lyrics, but I know they're all Christian songs. I'm like, okay, can you download some of these songs for me? And then he did. There were a lot of them. So I was listening to the song. I hope I don't get emotional. I was listening to the song, but it wasn't clicking. I didn't understand. It wasn't clicking. So one morning, I was like, I'm going to delete these songs today. Like, I don't understand. That morning, I was going to work. So because I listen to music on my way to work, once I wake up in the morning, I'm just listening to music, to put me in the right mood for Christ and all that. So I was listening to the song, and the lyrics entered my ears for the first time. That's why I said you guys should go and listen to this song. I cried. That song ministered to my soul. That song ministered to my soul. I'm telling you. And I don't joke with it. I don't joke with it. God used songs. There's a lady in my church, she's Indian. God used a song to minister to her. She turned from being a Hindu to a Christian. It was just a song. Because I asked her, what's your story? How did you, become a Christian? Because I know they are basically mostly Hindus and what's that other one? Sikh, Sikh, right? Indians. And then she said she listened to a Christian song, a gospel song, and that was how she got saved. I'm like, a song? She said, yes. And that reminded me of James Fortune's It Could Be Worse. So listen to the song and be reminded of God's love for you. Be reminded of God's promises for you. He will never fail you. And because God never fails, you will never fail. And I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that these too shall pass. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in my next video, in my next episode. If you have not checked out my previous videos, I'm actually your grand screen, and these days I've been talking about how to make money online. You can check out my other videos, and then we will talk again next week. If you have any question or you have any topic you want me to cover, let me know in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to respond to every single one of you. All right, guys, take care of yourselves, and God bless you. Bye for now.